going to talk to Issa Ibrahim, artist living in Queens. Tell me a little bit about some of the music that you make.
Well, my dad was a jazz musician back in the 50s and in the 60s. And then when jazz went fusion, and wasn't trad jazz like Miles Davis and the cool stuff anymore. And when it changed, like all musics do, he wasn't into it because a lot of it required taking LSD and the harder drugs. And he was like, nah, it's okay. I'm happy with my pop, So he ended up working at a New Jersey bandstand, doing like weekend gigs, doing weddings and bar mitzvahs, But anyways, having that education, having a father as a jazz musician, my mother as an avid record collector, I soaked in a lot of music. But I never really had anything to sing about. I was like a middle-class Black kid, which maybe has some reference, but not much. So all my years when I was out and about in the 80s, I had nothing to sing about until I lost my mind, committed this horrible act, and wound up in a mental hospital. Then all of a sudden, I had something to sing about. That was like fodder for songs, And so I also ended up inappropriate relationship with one of the staff there, and we got caught. But one of her lovely parting gifts, you could say, was she left me with a guitar. And I took what few chords I already knew and then put some effort into learning to play the damn thing because I had nothing but time. And songs started pouring out of me. So here I was locked up in a mental hospital with really, truly no release date and a guitar and a head full of songs. And so I just started writing songs. And after a while, I had hundreds of them. And I saved up some money from art sales in the hospital, which seems unlikely. So I bought a recording setup, a little portable recorder and some mic. And so after a while, I started making records, CDs, and mailing them out to all the connections I'd made at the Living Museum over the years. I always wanted to be a pop singer. I can kind of get by playing a whole bunch of different instruments, and I would record albums and release them under the nose of the hospital, which you weren't supposed to have a recorder because that was like verboten. So I figured, well, let me do it. I kind of wanted to live out a dream that when you're locked up in a mental hospital, your dreams get deferred. Whatever dreams you can possibly realize, you find yourself realizing if you have any kind of grit at all, because that my feeling was I may never get out of here. And I've always wanted to release a pop album. So let me do the best I can with what little meager talents I have and produce a pop album. So I was making like these little homemade CDs and snail mailing it to various places all over the world. And I just kept doing that, just kept recording. And as you do anything, you get better at it. And they're also themed with mental health and themed with loss and isolation and which now everyone's doing, or maybe in the 90s that became like a common theme. So yeah, I just became a pop singer for a minute there.